So if we go through our 3 steps, our first step was to say the ordered pair 1, 0 is definitely on the graph. So let's start off by plotting that. Step 2 says if you take a step up, then multiply the x value by your base. So if I take a step up, that means I want to graph something on that horizontal line there. To figure out what value we get, we're going to take the old x value of 1 and multiply by our base, which is 2. So that means that my x value becomes 2. Now if I want to take another step up, so I want to graph something on that line there, then I'm going to take my old x value of 2, and I'm going to multiply by 2 again. That gets me 4. Take another step up. So now I'm on that horizontal line. Take my old x value of 4, multiply by my base again. That's 8. Now if I want to take another step up, I'd be all the way out at 16, which is off my graph. So I kind of have an idea of where this thing's going. But let's come back over here to this value 1, 0. Because then my third step says if you want to take a step down, then divide the x value by the base, which in this case, remember, our base is 2 for this problem. So if we go back to that highlighted value here and say, let's take a step down, then I'm trying to graph something on that line. My x value was previously 1. To divide by 2 means the same thing as to multiply by a half. 1 times a half is a half. So I'm going to get right there. If I want to take another step down, that would take me down to a y value of -2. I would take my previous x value of a half and multiply by a half again. That's going to get me 1/4. Now let's go ahead and go one more time. Let's take one more step down. My previous x value was at 1/4. I'm going to multiply by a half one more time to get 1/8. And hopefully what you're noticing now is we're going to get closer and closer and closer to the y-axis, but never touch it because we're going to keep on taking half the x value, half the x value, half the x value. So my next x value would be 1/16th, then 1/32nd, then 1/64th, then 1/128th. It's just going to keep on getting closer and closer. And then as we go out here, it's really shallow. Because remember, our next x value would have been 16. So a logarithm takes a lot to get big. The y values don't get big very quickly. You gotta go really far out in the x. Let's go ahead and look at what this is going to look like if we have a fractional base. So step 1 was still the ordered pair 1, 0 is on it no matter what. Step 2 said if you want to take a step up, multiply the x value by your base. So our x value is 1. If I multiply by the base, which is a half, I'm going to get 1/2. And again, that was for a step up from here. So my x value becomes a half. Now suppose I want to take another step up. My previous x value was a half. If I'm going to multiply by my base again, I'm going to get 1/4. Then 1/8, then 1/16th. I'm going to keep on getting closer and closer and closer to that x-axis. So let's start talking about step 3. Let's come back to our original starting point and now say if I take a step down, let's divide the x value by our base b. So if I'm going to divide by my base of 1/2, that's going to mean the same thing as multiplying by 2. So if I want to take a step down 1 from that 1, 0, then my x value of 1 turns into an x value of 2. If I want to take another step down, then I'm going to multiply by 2 again to get 4. Another step down to get 8. And now we got a basic idea of what this thing looks like. So similar to the exponential, when our base was a fraction between 0 and 1, our graph was decreasing, meaning as you walk left to right, you're going downhill. And like with the exponential, when your base was larger than 1, you're increasing, meaning as you walk left to right, you're going uphill. That would be something I might write down, especially for your final exam, that for both the exponential and the logarithm, if your base is bigger than 1, as you walk left to right, you're going uphill, you're increasing. And for both the exponential and the logarithm, when your base is between 0 and 1, then you're decreasing. As you walk left to right, you're going downhill.